I want to show you a 3-step system, and it's the only system and the system you actually need to build an online business. You understand it, it's simplified, it's easy. I've done over 1,000 sales calls in the last 24 months, over 89% closed. Don't try and make it the next best thing. Don't try and compete with the most polished pieces of social media out there. Just set up your phone and talk to your dream client. You're sitting across the table from your dream client, tell them something that's going to help them. No one cares about what you do, right? They actually don't. They ask the question because it's natural. What they care about is this going to work for me? Alright guys, welcome back to another video with Work-Life Unbalanced. Today I want to show you a 3-step system, and it's the only system and the system you actually need to build an online business. So very quick, simple, straight to the point. I'm going to try and cover this as quickly as possible without rambling on and telling you different stories and stuff like that. But if you run an online business, or you're aspiring to build an online business, a coaching business, consultancy business, any business online where you provide a service to that customer, you're not selling products, you're selling a service. This can be fitness coaching, for example. I'm going to walk you through the 3 parts to the business, so you understand it, it's simplified, it's easy. Even if you weren't very clever in school, you're struggling with all this thing, you're just passionate maybe about fitness is a great example, because so many people are passionate about fitness, but they don't understand this whole business thing, and there's loads of gurus, mentors all there shouting about 10k a month, 50k a month, 100k a month, and you're just like, I just want to make this my living and not be stressed about it and not wonder where the next client is going to come from. But if you want to scale beyond that as well, this is still the same system that applies. The difference is with just scaling to the massive numbers is you hire different people to do these parts of the system for you. So once you learn this, you can take it as far as you want. It's up to you. But these are the basics, right? So there's 3 parts to it. You've got traffic, you've got sales, and you've got delivery. So first of all, to any of you out there that think you don't need to be good at marketing, sales, any of those things to run a successful online business, then you're totally wrong. So you need to realize that even if you're posting on social media, whatever you're doing, that's marketing. And if you're taking on clients and there's a price that they pay you, that's sales, okay? So you either decide that I'd be good at this stuff because that's what I'm doing anyway, or you can continue living under a rock and pretending that that's not what you do. I'm not a marketing, I'm not sales. It's part of the business. It's just the truth, right? So just getting that out there straight away, because it just really frustrates me when people say that and they're still posting results to social media. Like, you are marketing and advertising your business right now, so you might as well be good at it rather than doing a terrible job. So anyway, traffic. 4 ways to get them, right? And I'm stealing this from Hormozy. Give him credit every time I mention the core 4, because he put it into his leads book and we've got that up there. He breaks down very, very simple. So nice little framework. The core 4, you got 4 different ways of basically advertising your stuff, telling people about it, telling people that you exist. So you got warm outreach, which is basically messaging people that already engage with you, people you know in your network, or it could be people that just engage you on social media, like your stuff, follow your stuff, comment on your stuff, anything like that, any sort of interaction, watch your stories. That's warm outreach if you reach out to them. Cold outreach is reaching out to strangers, people that have no idea you exist until that first message comes through, right? Both free to do, just requires your time. Then you got social media posts. Again, a free tool. Go on as many platforms as you can. Choose the one that suits you best. If you like to talk and you're good at talking, or you decide you need to be good at talking because you really do, it's going to benefit you, use the short form pieces of content, use long form like YouTube. If you're better at writing and you prefer to do that, use quotes, chuck them on social media and write deep captions. Go on LinkedIn, write captions on there. But you need to find out where your target audience is. We'll put a link below if you want to figure out your target audience. There's going to be a Google Sheet that's going to help you with that and a prompt. So the other thing, by the way, that's free as well. Just takes time, just takes effort, but it's worth doing. The other thing is paid ads. This one is the only one you should not do until you have proven your model, you're making money, and you've got money to potentially burn. You only invest in this stuff. It's like gambling. At the start, you're not going to do it very well, right? Unless you spend a lot of money, hire an agency, and still, they're going to have to test and figure it out. It takes a lot of money to get involved, and you should only do it when you've got a proven model, proven offer, and it's just ready to ramp it up and scale it, okay? So forget that one. We're going to focus on, I would say with you, is putting your time into warm outreach to your network. That's something you should put an hour a day into, just reaching out to people that you already know or engage with your stuff on social media. I'm assuming you've probably got it, even though it's a personal account. And the other thing is social media posts. There is no reason, right? One of the things that frustrate me the most is when, I'm not going to name names, but I've helped people in the past where they've seen how well we've done with creating a coaching business online. We run a gym in person, totally different business, and that's just a typical gym membership, low ticket, £40 a month. We scaled that to over 500 members in the last 5 years. And then the online coaching business, I started up myself. I scaled to over 100 clients myself, handling everything myself. Then I decided I wanted to go beyond that, started hiring team members, built a full delivery team of coaches. We scaled to over 250 active clients at one point, right? Very, very well, without being like, I'm not famous on social media, anything like that. We just had a very good system for attracting leads and getting leads, and obviously delivering a great system as well in terms of results. So they told people, word of mouth spread, all the things were going well for us. So we done that through being very consistent with social media, having a great strategy behind it. And this is one thing I want to talk about. With social media, you need a consistent system, right? A repeatable system that you can stick to, just like you would following a fitness plan, training plan, nutrition plan. You need to be able to tick those boxes every single time. We have a 7-day pillar that we follow. So each day, for example, with the fitness stuff, PB Academy, what we did was Monday would be a training day reel. Tuesday would be a nutrition day reel. Wednesday would be something to do with a result or the journey of a client that we're going through. We talk about something specific. Every piece of content, by the way, is relating and speaking to imagining that the other side of that camera that's watching that video is my dream client, the one I want to work with the most. Not my client base that I've got right now, the ones I want in future. If I could have everyone like that, that's who I'm speaking to. So everything was designed around that. And again, free. If you're on the link below, we've got a 20-day content plan lined up like this, not just for the 7-day consistency, but also for it to be built up into a promotion where we whisper, tease, shout, and then launch at the end of it every single month. So you get an influx of clients at the end of every month. That's down below as well. So that's something that I always preach to people, because the people that tell me, oh, I've been doing this for years and I'm struggling, I just ask them, how many posts have you put out in the last couple of weeks? An answer I got last week, 3. So you want this to be your full-time job, and you're telling me you're only doing 3 posts over 14 days. Why? Don't try and make it the next best thing. Don't try and compete with the most polished pieces of social media out there. Just set up your phone and talk to your dream client. You're sitting across the table from your dream client. Tell them something that's going to help them. There's so many things you could probably say about your service, or stories you've got from your own journey going through that they can relate to, that you can talk about to them as if you're having a coffee with them. Just do that. Don't try and play the game. Don't try and make it hooky. Just literally do that and be consistent. You'll get better results doing that and being consistent, posting 7 days a week or 5 days a week as a minimum, than posting once every couple of days, twice a week, and trying to make it perfect. And people just see through it, and it's not going to be as good as you think it is. So it's not worth doing. So volume is what creates quality. Don't try and go for quality before you've done volume. Do the volume first, okay? So that's the first bit, and then you start to get traffic, aka leads, right? Another fancy word is just leads. So people that potentially will buy your stuff. Ideally, your target audience, your dream client. Next stage is sales. So sales, when you think of sales, if you're new to business, you probably think sales is this horrible thing, salesy, sleazy car salesman, used car salesman that's just trying to push stuff on me that I don't want. That's not what sales is. Sales is making sure that they are the right fit for you and you're the right fit for them. And if that's the case, you've got to help them walk over the line. People don't like to spend money, especially when it's a lot of money to them. They don't like to do it. It's an uncomfortable process. They need to think about it. They need to take time to process the idea, the investment, whatever it is. You need to walk them through that process. You need to make sure you've covered all the pillars that people need to go through in their head subconsciously. They don't even need to know that. They don't know that they need to do this stuff. But these pillars are things that they need to go through in their head. Do they trust you? Will it work for them? Are they comfortable with doing it, knowing that are they going to upset their partner, stuff like that? All the typical objections that will come up, you need to pre-handle. You need to go through that with them. That's a sales process, right? Now, instead of trying to train yourself or me trying to train you to be the best salesperson ever, I don't like this idea of sales training, right? I think it's a skill you can learn over time if you want to invest in it. However, the chances of turning every fitness lover, say you're passionate about fitness, why are they then going to be passionate about sales? They're probably not. So let's not try and force that on people to become, the best objection handler and closer. By the way, that's only going to handle the small percentage of people that actually have serious objections that you're trying to push over the line. It's marginal gains, and these are what salespeople obsess over. What I obsess over is can we just take a step back a minute, analyze the full conversation? What information do people need to know to just make an informed decision? And if they're the right person for you, and if you know that you're the right person for them, and you can generally help them get results, why shouldn't you work together? So that's what I think, and that's what we've done. I've done over 1,000 sales calls in the last 24 months, over 89% closed, which I know is a stupidly high rate, and that's because I have a lot of authority in the fitness space, and I'm the face of the business. So when people speak to me, they're already like, they've got a lot of respect for me. They trust me. They know what we've done. We've seen, they've followed me potentially for the last like 5 to 10 years. So it is, it's not something to brag about, but I know from doing this and also coming in when we've got cold leads coming in, our close rate is extremely high. And I've obsessed over this system. Okay. So what happens, right? You can either go through when you've got these cold or warm leads, and you can either try and sell them in a DM conversation. Worst thing you can do, right? You can do it. I've done it. The problem with this is it's a slow back and forth, and people are very easily distracted, especially if you're talking in DMs on social media. There's so many ways they can just go off and just not reply and stuff like that. So I prefer to either speak to them on a call, or in person if you need to, but on a call is where I did my sales process. But the key to doing this is you need a video. And the one question I've got to ask you this, right? Instead of trying to train to be the best salesperson and the best, person to go through a conversation with and know exactly what the right things to say and everything like that, instead of trying to change who you are and change and learn this skill out of nowhere, out of thin air, what I would say is, do you think that you can just perfect a pitch with a presentation that's already pre-planned and put together, you spent a lot of time doing, and we can give you a framework for this, by the way, as well, where it just walks people through answering their question of what you do. What are the questions you get, right? What packages have you got? What's your prices? How does it work? Is it over 6 months? Is it over 12 weeks? Is it 8 weeks? Like all these questions that people ask. How long will it take? What do you need from me? What's the sacrifices I need to make? What's the results I'm actually guaranteed to get? All those questions that people are worried about, and will it solve their pain? Will it actually be specific to them? All those stuff. If you can answer that for your dream client in a pre-planned presentation, this was the game changer we'd done with our business, because I was having to take so many sales calls. I realized that there's 3 parts to a call. You've got the first part, which is discovery, a genuine back and forth conversation where you find out a lot more about them and they find out more about you. Then there's the pitch. This is when they move forward, they're the right fit, and you have to just sell your services, right? This is where people feel really awkward. And this is where the worst case scenario is when people start to list all the specific details about their service. No one cares. No one cares about what you do, right? They actually don't. They ask the question because it's natural. What they care about is this going to work for me? And is these results, well, how likely are they? How likely is it, the perceived likelihood of a success that I'm going to actually achieve these results? You need to answer those questions, not by listing out that you do 24/7 WhatsApp communication or you do customized training plans. Not what people care about. But in this presentation, 10 to 15 minutes long, pre-planned, recorded once it's done, you can send it to the 1,000 people. Instead of getting on a call with those 1,000 people and repeating yourself over and over and over again, and then the pitch gets sloppy because you've done it so many times and you forget the important parts. It's not what you want to do. You want to have one pitch, and it changes the game completely. So then when you speak to them, so you move this video before, so this is the pitch. You move it before, and then when they come to the call, when they actually get to the call to speak to you, not only are they warmed up, they're pre-sold on your service. They're ready to buy. They're invested in you. They understand what you do. They respect you more. They trust you. They've seen all your results, your case studies. They know that you can help them, and they know you're the perfect person for them. So that Welcome Pack VSL, that's what we call it. It's a long VSL where you walk through a professional presentation, a pitch, and then they basically join the call ready to buy, fully trusted in you. So you just have a nice, quick, shorter, authentic conversation back and forth, and they're ready to jump on board with you. You just basically, you organize the start date and they're ready to go. So that's how that works. So that's the sales system you need to have in place. So if you have any service, stop trying to just pitch it one-on-one. Remove the pitch entirely from the conversation, build it into a system that works without you, from you just doing it once, recording it properly, presenting the pitch. We walk you through below in the link, the Welcome Pack VSL, how to build all the slides, what you need to cover on every slide. That solves that problem for you. So you have a full system, a sales asset ready to go. Then you get on the call, it's easy to sell. Close rate much higher, calls much shorter. You're back focusing on the whole business and you're able to scale, or you're able to focus more on delivery. And that's the next part, delivery, okay? So when you've sold them, which you would have, you have a much higher close rate, you have more clients coming through the door now. Then it comes down to the onboarding process. So this is a process that you then need to think about, how can I automate this as much as possible? I like to collect as much information as I can early on from that person. But the first thing I actually do is send them something they don't expect. So I send them something, either it can be like a mini course, it depends on what the service is, but it can be something, because especially if you're doing like a really customized service and they've just invested a lot of money in you, the worst thing that people have in those first 24 hours after a sale is buyer's remorse. They may regret it. They feel this like hole in their stomach. They've spent a lot of money and they've had nothing in return immediately. And you can't just send them something sloppy, because that's going to make them feel even more worried. But what can you send them to just make them think, wow, this is extremely customized. This is more than I thought. So we always send out, depending on the service, a mini video or a mini course video that just prepares them for the journey ahead, walks them through the roadmap of what they're going to see, what they're going to expect, the checkpoints, the milestones, and then we present them with a consultation form or all the information we need to collect from them to make sure it's hyper specific to them and it's going to solve all their problems, basically. So immediately they feel looked after. They feel like this is extremely professional. It's a great customer experience, and they're happy to then just relax and wait and leave you to it, because they know that you're the experts. You're going to solve this problem for them. So great example with PB Academy. We'd send out a course explaining all the different things, the frequently asked questions that people would have, walking them through the journey, the roadmap of what they're expected to go on. Then we'd explain it's going to take like 2 to 3 days to get this fully set up for you with your training, nutrition, everything ready to go, the app. And then we'd send out a consultation form. So they'd fill this in. But in the meantime, they've got this course to watch over the next couple of days to prepare them for what's to come. They'd be excited. They'd be looking forward to it. It's already given them value. And then they get dropped the customized full training plan, and we coach them throughout that process. So that's what we did. You can do that if it's a fitness service. But onboarding process is key to the success and longevity of how long that person is going to stay with you and trust you. The first 24 hours is actually crucial. Then the delivery. Obviously, you've just got to have a good service. And I'm trusting you at this point. If you're setting up a business around what you are passionate about, what you're doing, you need to make sure your delivery is obviously going to deliver on what you're selling. So make sure delivery is good. There are options then, depending on what you're doing, to upsell and downsell different points in the journey. We don't need to talk about that right now. But delivery is the bread and butter of your business, right? If you don't get that right, if you don't get people results, you don't deserve to be in business in the first place. Like, you shouldn't be doing this right now, and you shouldn't be charging a lot for it if you're not getting the results for people. But when you're doing the delivery right, you're trying to productize these services as much as possible so that it actually built into clear systems of delivery, so you eventually can bring in team members to delegate certain parts of it. But the most important part is getting those results, re-advertising them, and using it like a recurring sort of system that they then get you more clients. So that's when you can build in like referral schemes, referral programs to get people talking for you. And that's the key. That is the word of mouth. This is what people this is what people obsess over. You can't rely on word of mouth to grow your business, especially in today's age. But what you can do is use it to amplify your business, okay? You still need this system here that you're in control of. You've got your hands on the wheel. You've got the gear stick. If you want to ramp it up, you can. But this is just an amplifier of that process. The more people you get inside your business getting results, the more it's going to grow, the faster it's going to grow. But it definitely shouldn't be the only thing you rely on. I hope this has helped to give you some sort of idea of how to grow a service business online, how to scale it further if that's what you're doing. It is really that simple. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. This channel is all about growing and scaling a service business. We're doing it alongside you. I'm documenting everything I learn alongside you. So hopefully this does help. But if you want any of those things I mentioned, it's all free below in the link, and hopefully it will help. So thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.